So I thought I could get away with not reading out this week's news, or last week's news, I suppose, at this point. But people keep asking me to do it, and I need the views. So here we are, reading out the corporate propaganda for Broken Arrow this week. If you like these videos, you gotta basically I rely on a constant stream of compliments. If I don't receive those, then I'll just stop doing it. So I'm gonna read out the corporate propaganda. There's some graphs this time, so that's pretty cool. And I'll link it in the description if you want to read it yourself, but I guess you're here because you don't. So, Dev Notes Part 2, new details about what our team is currently working on. So, they did actually not release the. Let me find the. They apologized for not releasing the news last week. So, there you go. They said they'd release news every week, and then they didn't, and it's like, I don't really care at this point. But some people, they're desperate for their news. So here's some news. Dear players, we continue to share details about what our team is currently working on. For us, these updates are not just a way to talk about the development process, but also an opportunity to show which tasks we consider to be our top priorities. Your feedback helps us understand which features and changes are most important to the community, and it also guides us towards the areas that deserve additional attention. So, yeah, the player count for this game continues to go down if we just go to Steam, charts, Broken Arrow. But the review score is actually starting to climb back up, so you could expect from launch that a player count would go down. But to lose this much in 3 months, it's like minus 50, minus 45, minus 35, basically, right? Oh, minus 45, minus 45, minus 35%. That's really bad. You can't pay attention to this one because that's just including October. But yeah, losing players that fast is really bad. Some people say it's normal. It's not. So if you look at so a game I remember having a really rough launch was Age of Empires 4, which is actually quite well received now. So that should give you some positive vibes. And this game was really poorly received at the start. There was a lot missing, and it lost 45%, and then it was 20, and then it was 31, and then it was 20 again. And I remember how bad this launch was. It was well, I mean, technically it's clearly not worse than Broken Arrow's launch because, but yeah, it's pretty similar, right? Really high player count, and then it goes down. But there's hope because now 12,300 people are playing it. It's actually gone back up. So there is hope. Team changes. Broken Arrow is our first major project and a significant milestone for the entire team. Sorry, got that Chat GPT dash there. From the very beginning, the game was created by a small but incredibly close-knit group of about 10 people, 5 programmers and several content specialists. Amogus are 3D artists, interactive audio experts, and experienced wargame and strategy players. Looks like ChatGPT didn't catch this one. The journey was not easy, but at every stage of development we felt your support, the very support that inspires us to move forward and keep improving Broken Arrow. So that's nice to hear. Basically, they got your money by releasing this early access game as if it was a finished game, and now they're going to finish it. So at least they're going to finish it, but would have been nice if they'd done it the right way round. The release of the game became a major milestone for our team. It allowed us to significantly expand and bring in new specialists, programmers, modelers, and other professionals to help us tackle the challenges ahead. This growth enables us to develop the project much more efficiently, expand the in-game arsenal with new units, which we're yet to see, I suppose, and bring to life ideas that once seemed too ambitious for a small team. At the same time, the release is by no means the end of development. Well, what do you mean? This is the same thing. Okay, whatever. We will continue to refine the game, expand its content and mechanics. Okay. Where are we? It is especially rewarding to see that our audience turned out to be much larger than we had anticipated. So yeah, the game sold much better than they expected, and that's why all these guys who are complaining a lot, like, it doesn't really matter what you do; they've already won. They did a really good marketing campaign for what is at its core an alright game, but has like serious early access problems, and they just sold it as a full-priced full game. It's still not on sale now. There's a big sale on it at the moment, and yeah, and so they got their money, and you can just cope and seethe. There are still many challenges ahead, but our team's dedication, your support, and our shared vision for Broken Arrow, but we're confident in overcoming them all. We sincerely thank each and every one of you for your trust, patience, and belief in our game. Thank you for staying with us. Okay. Adding allied AI. Many of you have long been waiting for the addition of allied bots, and we're happy to finally share how development is progressing. Yeah, so the game launched without the ability to have allied bots, and the enemy bots are like really dumb. In that they just know where you are and they just beeline towards you. They just spawn a bunch of stuff and just walk towards you. It doesn't matter where you put your guys; they know where you are, and it's not very fun. Anyway, I'm surprised they couldn't give that to the allies as well, because all they have to do is know where the enemies are, and anyway. Our work began with the most complex aspect, behavior logic. The bots must act as true allies, predictable and reliable teammates, yet flexible enough to adapt to different in-game situations. Well, the enemy AI doesn't do that, so to make interactions more convenient, we are expanding the lobby functionality. Players will soon be able to assign bots to any available slot on either side, because yeah, you can play against them. The rest of the settings remain the same. Difficulty level and specialization can still be customized. This creates space for experimentation. You can form teams, balance forces, or try out new tactics. During this process, we also had to adapt certain elements of the game logic, particularly those related to how bots interact with their surroundings, respond to threats, and carry out objectives. Our goal is to ensure they behave naturally and fit seamlessly into the rhythm of a match. Final testing lies ahead, which will confirm the system's stability and readiness for full release. I mean, it's just... What can I say? Obviously, you got to see it. You got it. They say a lot of things. You got to see it. Balance. Balance always has been and remains one of the key non-technical aspects from our game. Yeah, there's something I really want to show you, actually, which I thought was absolutely hilarious when I saw it. It was in my Discord, I think. I can remember who said it. I should get these things together ahead of time, but maybe it wasn't in this Discord. But I remember who sent it. Okay, so it must have been in War. Yes. Here we go. So these are the win statistics for Russia versus whatever, and the other one, the afterthought, and. And you can display it by day, and you can view the daily win rate for Russia and the daily win rate for USA, and it's just every day Russia's higher. And you could go back in time. Ever since release, it's just been higher every single day, and it's like they could fix that, but they're so slow to fix it. It's absolutely hilarious. Anyway, what can I say? Americans, you should make your own game. This game is made by Russians, so... Balance has been and always remains one of the key non-technical aspects of our game and others in this genre. As players ourselves, we've also enjoyed taking part in forum wars debating the strengths of certain units. Yeah, so basically they just say, no, it's wrong. You're wrong, I'm right. Since the game's release, we've seen intense discussions about faction strength, overpowered quote-unquote units, and other balance-related topics. Initially, we didn't have formal statistics to rely on. Yeah, so basically they couldn't pass their own win rates. They had to get this South Korean guy to help them do it. That's the guy who, if you're reading on the Reddit, he was posting those win rate charts. They had to get in contact with him because they didn't actually know how to get their own win rate data. Because it's such a mess that basically the logs of the game are just like completely broken. They don't even tell you what specialization a player is playing. The way the South Korean guy figured out what specialization that you're playing is by checking if you spawn certain units, because certain units can only be in certain specializations. And so he would just check some key units that if you spawn these over the course of the game, and use that to figure out what faction you are. I mean, or if your deck contains those, yeah. But through our own experience and observation, we identified problematic areas and made targeted adjustments. For additional insight, we also used general statistics without ELO segmentation. Of course, every change sparked debates from both sides, often resulting in heated comment sections and critical Steam reviews. Yeah, I mean, it's a mixed. It's actually starting to go back up, um, which is nice. Over time, we developed our own internal metrics, tracking win rates, pick rates, and the most commonly used units. The latest patch was built directly on these data insights. Uh, yep. Yeah, it seems to be working. In this diary, we would like to share some of these statistics, helping players better understand the reasoning behind certain balance decisions and how future ones may be shaped. Let's start with a dataset whose accuracy has been debated since its release, win rates by nation without ELO segmentation. As you can see, these figures have remained largely unchanged over time, with a consistent difference of about 7%. So in the last one, they said it was 4%, and that's because they included the mirror matches. So if USA plays USA, USA gets a 50% win rate. They were including those. I don't know if it's still like that. How do I get my cool... So this is today's win rates. But this is including the mirror matches. It's including the mirror matches. That's why this is so much higher than this one. Anyway, BA Hub is a much better website than this. I'm just on this because somebody else linked it. There's another one called BA Hub, and it's a lot better at doing this. So it is a bit slow on the uptick sometimes, though. Big sad. I'm trying to advertise for you here for free. For free. Oh well, what can I say? Now, for something new and interesting, win rate statistics after patch 1.0.10, this time segmented by ELO. The presented chart shows the previously... There we go. So yeah, this has its own statistics and specialization usage and, global ranking leaderboard, stuff like that. You can see the win rates and so on. Pretty good website, that. I'll link it in the description, if I remember. The previously published graph did not account for player skill levels, reflected the overall situation fairly accurately, but not entirely correctly. One faction consistently holds an advantage over the other across almost all ELO levels. One faction. It's Russia, bro. Just say it. Russia's stronger than America. Deviations from this general picture are only observed at the highest ELO levels. Yeah, so basically there's like one stack. Because at the highest ELO levels, there aren't that many games played. Look, there's 21 matches played in this ELO range. There's 66 matches played in this ELO range. There's 161 played in this ELO range, right? And even at the highest tier, the Russian win rate is better. So, oh man. But basically, there's one stack I know of who just play every single day, and they play as the USA, and they're just better. And so they get loads of wins. But it turns out that even at the highest level, Russia's stronger. So, yeah, I mean, Russia's stronger for all of this except a tiny little bit. And then, honestly, I don't enjoy reading these anymore because it's just them trying to explain away the problems that they've made. Look, this looks exactly like that graph that South Korean guy made. And I'm getting very tired of doing this. I'm getting very tired of doing this, but we'll bash on regardless because most of these are graphs, which means there isn't actually that much reading. Anyway, yeah, so the most recent patches intended to reduce the overall gap at the most populated ELO ranges were steps in the right direction. Well, I mean, Russia's still winning everywhere apart from in these three ELO things, which aren't even the highest tier. At the highest tier, Russia's actually winning way more. And the only reason this is happening is because there's one stack who just play America constantly, like literally every single day. And that's how they're getting stuff going. The next chart presents the distribution of all available specialization combinations by win rate and popularity. We invite you to share your conclusions in the comments. Listen, right? 50% win rate. Whoa, all the Russian ones are higher. Whoa, all the American ones are lower. It's not fucking rocket science, is it? It's not rocket science. The one faction is way stronger than the other one. Oh dear. Like, there's not a single Russian specialization that has a below 50% win rate. There's not a single American specialization that has an above 50% win rate. Look at this one all the way down here. Oh man. Finally, we've included a list of the most popular units segmented by elo. These tables show which units are considered the most effective and are most frequently used by players at various skill levels. The dataset also includes mirror matches, though the findings remain highly insightful. I just know there's going to be a bunch of Russian guys in the comments saying that there's nothing wrong with this. There always are. Anybody with the eyes to see can tell that Russia's stronger. It's just there's a lot of Russians playing this game, and they always come out and they say, no, it's not. And they know they're full of shit. We know they're full of shit. They know we know they're full of shit. We know they know we know they know they're full of shit. And that's, the Soviet Union 101 right there. I think I quoted it wrong, but that is a quote about the Soviet Union. So here are the units by how much they used, and unsurprisingly, the most used thing is a transport. I'm pretty sure that's what the ISV is. M103 ISV. M103 ISV. Is that going to work, or I suppose this arsenal here? I'm pretty sure that's just a transport. Hippie, why don't you launch the game? ISV. Yeah, it's a trans. So obviously it's going to be very popular. I mean, okay, great. The most popular thing is a transport. The second most popular is airborne US infantry. Wow, incredible. And then, yeah, from 0 to 1400 elo, the killer egg. Wow, and the Ural truck. Wow, incredible. Incredible. Wow. What is this showing us? It just, how does that matter? At the highest tier, the most popular units are all the Russian ones. Wow, it's blowing my mind. The cruise missile launcher is very popular. Whoa! All the Russian stuff's more popular at the higher elo. I wonder why. It's giving me we hope this statistical overview will give players food for thought and perhaps even prompt some of our most passionate balance advocates to reconsider their positions. How? How? All you said is that there's a major side imbalance, and because at three specific ELO ranges, America's higher. Oh, you need to reconsider your position. You need to reconsider the fact that every single Russian spec has an above 50% win rate, and every single American spec has a below 50% win rate. Well, and in the previous patch, the patch before the patch that just came out, they nerfed America because they were like, Special Forces America is too strong, and they nerfed it even though it was still below 50%, and now it's further below 50%. Oh my god. Fighting cheating. We're constantly working to improve our anti-cheat system, fully aware of how essential it is to maintain a fair and transparent environment for all players. Currently, we are integrating a third-party tool as part of a broader anti-cheat initiative. Wouldn't it be crazy if people said from day one that you should implement a third-party anti-cheating tool instead of doing it yourself and failing massively? Wouldn't it be crazy if somebody said that? Wouldn't it be crazy if literally hundreds of people said that? Anyway, this solution will combine the capabilities of external software with our own detection systems. Sorry, it's worth noting, by the way, that their detection systems is basically you have to this in-game report button doesn't do anything. Nobody's ever had any indication that they listen to this. What you have to do is you have to email basupport@slytherin.com with video evidence of the person cheating and the match logs, and then they might ban them. Basically, this only catches the really obvious cheats, such as I shoot 7 nukes at you, but if the enemy just decides to give all their guys 10% evasion, 10% more evasion, 10% more ECM, 5% higher fire rate, you wouldn't, or just like 10% more income, you wouldn't be able to tell. They just can't tell. So there's a bunch of hackers still in the game. It's just they've switched from, they call it rage hacking, where it's just like, I just immediately kill all your units, to just, I just get, 20% more ECM than you, and my guys just seem to survive a few more times than you. And that can't be caught with what they're doing. So it's fucked, basically. To help our team investigate more effectively, please include the suspected player's nickname and, if possible, you need video evidence or they don't do it. These materials greatly assist us in identifying offenders and taking the necessary action. And the player's nickname is it's very difficult to get because you can't copy and paste this. And so what they do is because most of them have Mandarin names, they you just can't copy it, so you can't really get their nickname. You have to look in the logs yourself and get the nickname. Adjustment to mirror match option. We understand that this setting is an important part of the gameplay experience for so many players, so we'd like to clarify the current situation. Although the option to disable mirror matches exists, it doesn't actually work. It doesn't actually work. This is like the third or fourth time they've said that they're going to fix it. You press disable mirror matches, and sometimes it does it, and sometimes it doesn't. It just doesn't really seem to do anything. Because sometimes you wouldn't get mirror matches anyway. We are actively working on a fix. Okay. And then yeah, please stop review bombing our game. So I've got to admit, guys, I don't like doing this anymore. This is so stupid. I mean, they just come in and they just fucking lie through their teeth every time. Or I suppose, okay, technically they're not lying because this goes through a bunch of marketing guys, and the marketing is the best part of Broken Arrow. That's why they sold so many copies. And it's just I'm just reading out. I'm just a stenographer for Slytherin Publishing, basically at this point, where they just give you a graph that says Russia's better. Then they give you two graphs that say Russia's better, and then they say please reconsider your opinions. I'm gonna go reconsider jumping from a tall place.